The helicopter blades were spinning. Elias Crane stood beside it, briefcase in hand. His security team surrounded him. 6 men in black suits. Grant Morrison, head of security, checked his watch. "Ready when you are, sir." Elias reached for the door handle. Then a voice cut through everything. "Don't get in that helicopter." Everyone froze. Elias stopped. His hand hovered over the handle. Grant spun around, hand moving toward his weapon. "What the? Please." The voice came again. "Don't get in." Elias turned. A girl stood at the fence. 10 years old, maybe. Torn jacket. Gripping the chain link like her life depended on it. Her eyes were wide. Terrified. Grant stepped forward. "Ma'am, you need to." "Wait," Elias said. "Sir, we're behind schedule." I said wait. Grant went silent. Elias walked toward the fence. His team followed, but he waved them back. The girl didn't run. Just stood there, shaking. He stopped in front of her. "What's your name?" "Sky," she whispered. "Why did you tell me not to get in, Sky?" The words spilled out fast. "2 men were here last night. Working on your helicopter. They had tools and they kept looking around like they didn't want anyone to see. One of them had a tattoo, a red bird. I was hiding in the hangar. They didn't know I was there. I heard them say something about making sure it goes off at altitude. I didn't understand, but it sounded wrong. Hey everyone, welcome back to Top Story. If you're new here, you just walked into something special. This channel, we tell stories that hit different. Stories about real courage. Real sacrifice. Real people who did the impossible when the world said they couldn't. And to my subscribers, my day ones, thank you. Seriously. You show up every single week. You comment. You share. You make this channel what it is. I don't take that for granted. If you are new here, subscribe to our channel and let us know where you are watching from in the comment section. Before we dive in, let me say a quick prayer for all of you watching right now. May God bless you wherever you are. May He protect your family, your health, and your future. May He open doors that no man can shut and give you strength for whatever battles you're facing today. May His favor follow you, His peace guard your heart, and His grace cover every mistake. In Jesus' name, type Amen in the comments section. May God answer our prayers. Alright. Now let's get into this story. Because what you're about to hear, it's going to change the way you see kindness, betrayal, and revenge forever. She gasped for breath. Elias turned to Grant. His voice was cold. Check the aircraft. Full sweep. Now. Sir, we already did pre-flight. Now. Grant pulled his radio. I need a full tactical sweep on the primary aircraft. Immediately. 3 specialists appeared. They swarmed the helicopter with equipment. Mirrors. Scanners. Gloved hands checking every surface. Elias crouched down to Sky's level. Where are your parents? She looked down. Don't have any. Where do you live? She pointed toward the far hangar. Around. Elias started to speak, but Grant's voice came through the radio. Sir. You need to see this. His tone said everything. Elias stood. He looked at Sky. Stay right there. Don't move. He walked toward the helicopter. Toward whatever they'd found. Grant stood by the open panel. His face was white. Elias approached. What is it? Grant didn't speak. Just pointed. Elias looked inside. A small black device. Wires. A blinking red light. His stomach dropped. Is that a bomb? Grant said. His voice was flat. Wired directly to the altitude sensor. The moment you hit 10,000 feet. He didn't finish. He didn't need to. Elias stared at the device. His mind raced. Who? Why? How long had it been there? One of the specialists leaned in with a scanner. C4. About 2 pounds. Enough to. I know what it's enough to do, Elias snapped. Silence. The specialist stepped back. We need to call the bomb squad. Nobody touches this until. How long to disarm it? Elias asked. Grant's eyes widened. Sir, that's not, we can't just. How long? The specialist swallowed. If we're careful. 10 minutes. Maybe less. But protocol says. Do it. Sir. That girl just saved my life. I want to know who tried to take it. And I want to know now. Disarm it. The specialist looked at Grant. Grant nodded slowly. All right. Everyone back. 20 feet. Now. The team scattered. Elias stayed. That means you too, sir, Grant said. I'm not going anywhere. Grant opened his mouth to argue, then closed it. He knew that tone. Elias wasn't moving. The specialist pulled out a toolkit. His hands were steady, but sweat beaded on his forehead. He clipped a wire to the device. Then another. A small screen lit up. Timer's not active yet, he muttered. It's pressure-based. Altitude trigger. He worked in silence. 30 seconds. A minute. 2. Elias didn't breathe. Finally, the specialist pulled a wire free. The red light blinked once. Twice. Then went dark. He exhaled. We're clear. Grant stepped forward. Bag it. I want forensics on this in the next hour. The specialist carefully placed the device in a metal case. Locked it. Handed it to another team member who sprinted toward a waiting vehicle. Elias turned. Sky was still at the fence. Watching. He walked back to her. Slower this time. She looked up at him. Was I right? He nodded. You were right. What was it? He crouched down again. Something very bad. Something that would have hurt me. Her eyes went even wider. They really tried to. Yes. She was quiet for a moment. Then, are you going to be okay? Elias almost laughed. Almost. Here was a homeless girl who just stopped an assassination, and she was asking if he was okay. I think so, he said softly. Because of you. She looked down. I heard them talking. I didn't know what to do. I thought maybe if I told someone. You did exactly the right thing, Sky. You saved my life. She didn't respond. Just stared at her shoes. Grant appeared behind Elias. Sir, we need to move. If someone planted a bomb, they might still be. I know. Elias stood. He looked at Sky. Come with us. She blinked. What? You're not safe here. If they find out you saw them, if they know you told me. He shook his head. Come with us. Please. She hesitated. Then nodded. Elias held out his hand. She took it. And for the first time since the shout, Elias Crane realized something. Death had been 30 seconds away. And a 10-year-old girl was the only reason he was still breathing. Okay, real talk, how many of you saw that coming? A homeless kid just saved a billionaire's life and exposed a conspiracy. If this story is giving you chills, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss what happens next. And comment below, what would you have done in Sky's position? Let's talk about it. The conference room was silent. Elias sat at the head of the table. Sky was beside him, wrapped in a security jacket 3 sizes too big. Grant stood by the door. 5 other team members lined the walls. Everyone was staring at the metal case on the table. Inside it, the bomb that should have killed him. Elias's hands were clasped. His jaw was tight. "Talk," he said. Grant cleared his throat. "Forensics is still running tests, but preliminary shows professional work. Military grade C4. Clean wiring. No fingerprints. Whoever did this knew what they were doing. Who had access to the helicopter? That's the problem, sir. 23 people had clearance to that hangar in the last 72 hours. Maintenance crew. Fueling staff. Security rotations. Cleaners. Background checks. Everyone passed. No red flags. No criminal records. Nothing." Elias slammed his hand on the table. The sound cracked through the room like a gunshot. "Someone planted a bomb on my aircraft, Grant. Someone with access. Someone I trusted. And you're telling me you have nothing?" Grant's face was stone. "Sir, we're working every angle. Work faster." Silence. Elias turned to Sky. His voice softened. "You said you saw 2 men. Can you describe them?" She nodded slowly. "One was tall. Really tall. Maybe 6'3". He had dark hair. Kept it in a ponytail." Grant pulled out a tablet. Started typing. "The other one was shorter. Stocky. He had a beard. And the tattoo." "The red bird," Elias said. "Yeah. On his right arm. Like, here." She pointed to her forearm. It was red and black. The wings were spread out. Grant's fingers flew across the screen. "We can pull security footage. Cross-reference with staff photos. If they were here, we'll find them." "Do it now," Elias said. Grant nodded and left the room. Elias looked at Sky. "You're sure about the tattoo?" "I'm sure. I saw it when he rolled up his sleeve. They were working on something near the tail. They had this metal case. Tools. They kept whispering. Did you hear what they said?" She closed her eyes, trying to remember. The tall one said something like, "Make sure it's set for altitude." And the other one, the one with the tattoo, he said, "It'll go off clean. No trace." Then they laughed. Her voice cracked on the last word. Elias reached over and squeezed her shoulder. "You're doing great, Sky." She looked up at him. "Are they going to come after me?" The question hung in the air. Elias didn't lie. "I don't know. But I promise you, nobody is going to hurt you. You're safe now." She didn't look convinced. The door opened. Grant walked back in. His face was pale. "Sir. We have a problem." Elias stood. "What is it?" Grant turned the tablet around. On the screen, security footage from the hangar. 2 men. One tall with a ponytail. One shorter with a beard. Timestamp, 11:47 p.m. Last night. "We ran facial recognition," Grant said quietly. "The tall one? No match. Not in our system. Not in any database. And the other one?" Grant hesitated. "Grant. Who is he?" Grant took a breath. "He's on our payroll." The room went dead silent. Elias stared. "What did you just say?" "He works for us. Marcus Holt. Security detail. Been with the company for 6 years. Elias felt the floor tilt beneath him. Where is he now? That's the thing, sir. He called in sick this morning. Said he had the flu. Hasn't answered his phone since. Elias's blood ran cold. Send a team to his house. Now. Already done. They're en route. Elias turned back to the screen. Stared at the man with the red bird tattoo. Marcus Holt. 6 years of service. Clean record. Trusted. And he'd just tried to kill him. Sky's small voice broke the silence. That's him. That's the man I saw. Elias looked at her. Then at Grant. Find him, he said. I don't care what it takes. Find him. Grant nodded and left again. Elias sank back into his chair. His mind was racing. Who else was involved? How deep did this go? And why? Why would someone he trusted, someone he paid, want him dead? The questions had no answers. Not yet. Wait, did you catch that? The man Elias trusted for 20 years just became a suspect. If you're hooked and want to see how this plays out, hit that subscribe button right now. And drop a comment, do you think Grant is guilty or innocent? I'm reading every single one. 2 hours later, Grant returned. His face was grim. Marcus Holt wasn't at his house. Place was cleared out. Clothes gone. Drawers emptied. He knew we were coming. Elias didn't blink. What else? We pulled his full file. Did a deep dive into his background. Found something. Grant placed a folder on the table. Opened it. Inside, photos. Bank statements. Text messages. Marcus has been moving money. Small amounts. 500 here. 1,000 there. Always to different offshore accounts. Started about 8 months ago. Elias leaned forward. Show me everyone on the security team. Now. Grant pulled up the staff roster on his tablet. Photos. Names. Service records. 12 men total. All vetted. All trusted. Elias scanned through them one by one. His eyes stopped on Marcus Holt's photo. Dark beard. Cold eyes. And there, barely visible in the photo, the edge of something on his forearm. Zoom in, Elias said, pointing. Grant enlarged the image. The tattoo. A red-winged bird. Wings spread wide. Sky gasped. That's it. That's exactly it. Elias's jaw clenched. Where is he? Marcus called in sick this morning. Said he had the flu. We've been trying to reach him. No answer. Send a team to his house. Already done, sir. There. Grant's phone buzzed. He answered immediately. Morrison. His face went pale. Copy that. He hung up. Sir. Marcus Holt's apartment is empty. Cleared out. He's gone. Elias slammed his fist on the table. How long? Looks like he left sometime early this morning. Before we even found the bomb. The room went silent. Elias stood. Paced. His mind was racing. He knew, Elias said quietly. He knew we'd find it. He was already running. Grant nodded. Sir, there's something else. Elias turned. What? We pulled the security footage from last night. Marcus was on duty. He had access to the hangar. But. Grant hesitated. He wasn't alone. He turned the tablet around. On screen, Marcus Holt walking through the hangar. Time stamp, 11:32 p.m. And behind him, another man. Taller. Ponytail. The same man Sky described. They walked straight to Elias's helicopter. Do we have facial recognition on the second man? Running it now. But sir. Grant's voice dropped. That's not the worst part. What is? Grant swiped to another video. Different angle. Same time. Marcus was talking to someone off camera. Laughing. Relaxed. Then the camera angle shifted. And Elias saw who Marcus was talking to. His blood froze. Grant. Grant Morrison. Head of security. 20 years of service. The man Elias trusted more than anyone. Standing there. Talking to Marcus Holt. Right before the bomb was planted. Elias turned slowly. Stared at Grant. Grant's face was unreadable. Sir, I can explain. Explain. Elias's voice was ice. You were there. I was doing my rounds. Marcus said he was doing a final check on the aircraft. I didn't think anything of it. And the other man? Grant shook his head. I never saw him. I swear. I talked to Marcus for maybe 30 seconds, then moved on. I didn't know. Didn't know. Or didn't want to know. Grant's jaw tightened. Sir, with all due respect. Respect? Elias laughed bitterly. You want to talk about respect? Someone tried to kill me, Grant. And you were there. Right there. I had nothing to do with this. Prove it. Silence. Grant slowly rolled up his right sleeve. Elias stared. Bare skin. No tattoo. Then Grant rolled up his left sleeve. Elias's heart stopped. There. On Grant's left wrist. A small tattoo. A red-winged bird. Sky gasped. That's it. That's the tattoo. Grant looked down at his own arm. His face went white. No. No, this isn't. How long have you had that? Elias's voice was deadly calm. Since I was 22. Military unit insignia. We all got them. It doesn't mean. Marcus has the same tattoo. I didn't know that. I swear I didn't. Get out. Grant froze. Sir. I said get out. Grant's face hardened. He placed his badge and weapon on the table. Then he turned and walked toward the door. He stopped. Looked back. I didn't do this, Elias. You know me. 20 years. I would never. I don't know you at all, Elias said quietly. Grant's face crumpled. Then he straightened. Nodded once. And left. The door closed. Sky looked up at Elias. Was that the man from last night? Elias stared at the door. His hands were shaking. I don't know, he whispered. I don't know anything anymore. The room was suffocating. Elias stood frozen. Staring at the closed door. At the badge and gun Grant left behind. 20 years. 20 years of loyalty. Of trust. Of watching his back. And now. Now Elias didn't know what was real. Sky's voice broke through. Mr. Crane. He didn't respond. Mr. Crane, are you okay? He turned slowly. Looked at her. No, he said. I'm not. She stood. Walked over to him. Put her small hand on his arm. What are we going to do? We. She said we. This 10-year-old girl who had nothing. Who owed him nothing. And she was asking what we should do. Elias took a breath. We're going to find the truth. How? Good question. He pulled out his phone. Dialed. 3 rings. Then, Crane Industries Legal. This is Rebecca. Rebecca, it's Elias. I need you to pull every personnel file for my security team. All of them. I want employment history, background checks, financial records, everything. Sir, that's going to take. I need it in 1 hour. Silence. 1 hour, Rebecca. Yes, sir. He hung up. Then he called another number. Peterson. It's Crane. I need a private investigator. The best you have. Someone who can dig into people I thought I knew. He paused. No, I'm not joking. Send them to my office. Now. He ended the call. Sky was watching him. Do you think he did it? The man with the tattoo? Grant? I don't know. But that tattoo. He shook his head. It can't be a coincidence. What if there are more of them? The question hit him like a bullet. What if Grant wasn't alone? What if others on his team had the same tattoo? The same allegiance to, what? Who? His phone buzzed. Unknown number. He answered. Hello. Breathing on the other end. Heavy. Deliberate. Then a voice. Distorted. Mechanical. You should have gotten in the helicopter. Elias's blood turned to ice. Who is this? Someone who doesn't like loose ends. If you think you can. The girl saw too much. You know that, right? Elias's grip tightened on the phone. His eyes shot to Sky. You come near her and I will. You'll what? Call your security. The same security that tried to kill you. The voice laughed. Cold. Empty. You don't know who to trust anymore, do you? What do you want? I want you to understand something, Mr. Crane. This isn't over. The bomb was plan A. There's always a plan B. Why? Why are you doing this? Silence. Then, because you were about to ruin everything. The line went dead. Elias stared at his phone. His hands were shaking. Sky stood. What did they say? He looked at her. This brave little girl who saved his life. Who was now a target because of it. We need to leave. Now. Where are we going? Somewhere safe. Somewhere no one knows about. He grabbed his jacket. Took her hand. They headed for the door. But as Elias reached for the handle, he stopped. Turned back to the table. Picked up Grant's badge. Stared at it. 20 years of service. Of trust. And now, betrayal. Or was it? The voice on the phone said, the same security that tried to kill you. Plural. Not Grant specifically. What if Grant was telling the truth? What if he really didn't know? What if the real enemy was still out there, watching, waiting, wearing the same face Elias trusted every day? He pocketed the badge. Looked at Sky. Stay close to me. Don't let go of my hand. No matter what. She nodded. They left the room. And behind them, on the table, the metal case with the bomb sat silent. A reminder that death had been 30 seconds away. And might still be coming. Hold up, they just tried to execute him in a parking garage and a 10-year-old LD saved him. Again. By going live. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you even doing? Hit that button right now because this story is about to get wild. And drop a comment. Do you think Hartley's going down or is he coming back for revenge? I need to know what you think. Elias didn't go home. He took Sky to a hotel. Not one of his usual 5-star places. Somewhere small. Anonymous. A place where billionaires don't stay. Room 214. 2 beds. A window overlooking the parking lot. He locked the door. Drew the curtains. Checked the bathroom. The closet. Under the beds. Sky sat on the edge of one bed, watching him. "Are they going to find us?" she asked quietly. "Not here. Not tonight." He hoped that was true. His phone buzzed. "Rebecca. Files are ready, sir. Sending them now." "Thank you." He opened his laptop. The files loaded. 12 security personnel. 12 lives on his screen. He started with Grant Morrison. Military service, exemplary. Purple Heart. Distinguished Service Medal. Honorable discharge after 15 years. Employment history, spotless. Started with Crane Industries 7 months after leaving the military. Worked his way up from junior security to head of the entire team. Financial records, clean. No unusual transactions. Steady income. Modest spending. Nothing suspicious. Nothing except that tattoo. Elias pulled up Marcus Holt's file next. Military service, 4 years. Dishonorable discharge. Reason, classified. That was the first red flag. Employment history, spotty. 3 security jobs in 6 years before joining Crane Industries. Each one ended abruptly. No references. Financial records, hidden offshore accounts. Money moving in and out. Deposits that didn't match his salary. Everything suspicious. How did Marcus even get hired? Elias scrolled to the hiring authorization. Approved by Grant Morrison. His stomach dropped. Grant vouched for Marcus. Personally. The pieces were starting to fit together. And Elias didn't like the picture they made. A knock on the door. Elias's hand shot to his phone. He stood. Motioned for Sky to stay quiet. "Who is it?" "It's Grant." Elias's jaw clenched. "Go away." "Sir, please. I need to talk to you. I have nothing to say to you. I know where Marcus is." Elias froze. Sky looked at him, eyes wide. He walked to the door. "Didn't open it. How did you find me?" "I tracked your car." "I'm sorry. But I needed to talk to you. Face to face." "You're not coming in." "I don't need to. Just, please. Listen." Elias hesitated. Then cracked the door open. Chain still on. Grant stood in the hallway. No weapon. No badge. Just a man who looked 10 years older than he had this morning. "Talk," Elias said. Grant took a breath. "That tattoo. The red bird. You're right. It means something. I know that." "No, you don't. Not the whole story." Grant's voice dropped. "It's a military unit insignia. Special ops. Black budget stuff. The kind of missions that don't exist on paper." "And Marcus was in this unit?" "Yes. So was I." Elias stared. "You said you didn't know he had the same tattoo." "I didn't. We served in different squads. Different years. There were dozens of us. I never saw Marcus during my service. Never even heard his name until I hired him." "Why did you hire him?" Grant looked down. "Because he had the credentials. The training. And because." He paused. "Because someone recommended him." "Who?" "I don't know. It came through official channels. A referral from DOD. Said he was looking for private sector work. Clean record, or so the file said. His record wasn't clean. I know that now. But the file I saw. Spotless. Someone altered it. Someone with access to military databases. Elias's blood ran cold. You're saying this goes deeper than Marcus. I'm saying Marcus is a tool. Not the architect. Silence. Grant continued. I tracked his phone. Shut off, but I got the last ping before he went dark. Warehouse in Newark. Industrial district. Abandoned. You want me to believe you? No, Grant said quietly. I want you to let me prove it. Let me find Marcus. Let me bring him in. Let me show you I had nothing to do with this. Elias studied his face. Looking for the lie. The crack. He saw nothing but desperation. Why? Elias asked. Why do you care so much? Grant's voice broke. Because you trusted me for 20 years. And I failed you. I let someone plant a bomb under my watch. I hired the man who tried to kill you. He looked up. I need to make this right. Elias was quiet for a long moment. Then, fine. You can look for Marcus. Grant's face lifted. Thank you, sir. But you're not going alone. Grant blinked. Sir. I'm coming with you. Absolutely not. If Marcus is there, if whoever's behind this is there, then you'll need backup. And I don't trust anyone else. Grant opened his mouth to argue. Then closed it. What about the girl? Elias glanced back at Sky. She was listening to every word. She stays here. Door locked. No one in or out. He turned to Sky. Can you do that? Stay here until I get back. She nodded. But her eyes were scared. Elias walked over. Knelt down. I will come back. I promise. What if you don't? Then call this number. He handed her a card. Ask for Rebecca. Tell her everything. She'll protect you. Sky took the card. Held it tight. Elias stood. Looked at Grant. Let's go find Marcus. Grant nodded. And for the first time since the helicopter, Elias made a choice. Trust the man who might betray him. Or face the enemy alone. He chose trust. But kept his eyes open. The warehouse was dark. No lights. No cars. Just rusted metal and broken windows. Elias and Grant sat in the car across the street. Engine off. Watching. You sure this is the place? Elias asked. Grant checked his phone. Last ping was here. 3 hours ago. Could be a trap. Could be. They sat in silence. Then Grant spoke. Sir, before we go in, there's something you need to know. Elias turned. What? That phone call you got. The distorted voice. They said you were about to ruin everything. I remember. What were you working on? What were you about to expose? Elias thought back. Board meetings. Financial reports. Quarterly reviews. Then it hit him. The audit, he said quietly. Grant leaned forward. What audit? 2 months ago, I ordered a full financial audit of the company. Every department. Every account. I wanted to make sure we were clean before the new investor deal went through. And the auditors found discrepancies. Money moving through accounts that shouldn't exist. Shell companies. Offshore transfers. Grant's face darkened. How much? 47 million. Maybe more. Grant whistled low. That's not petty theft. That's organized. I was supposed to present the findings to the board next week. I was going to demand answers. Possibly involve authorities. Who knew about this? Elias thought. The auditors. My CFO. A few senior executives. And. He stopped. And who? The board. I sent them a preliminary report. Told them we needed to talk. Grant's jaw clenched. How many board members? 8. Any of them have military backgrounds? Elias pulled out his phone. Scrolled through profiles. 3 board members. All with corporate backgrounds. Finance. Tech, real estate. Then he saw it. Board member number 4, Victor Hartley. Former DoD contractor. 20 years in defense procurement. Connections to. His blood froze. What is it? Grant asked. Victor Hartley. He's on the board. He has DoD connections. He's the one. I don't know. But he was the loudest voice against the audit. Said it was a waste of time and money. Tried to convince me to drop it. Grant pulled his gun. Checked the magazine. If Hartley's behind this, he's not working alone. 47 million doesn't disappear without help. Elias stared at the warehouse. You think Marcus is in there? Only one way to find out. They got out of the car. Moved quietly across the street. Grant led. Elias followed. The warehouse door was unlocked. That was the second bad sign. Grant pushed it open slowly. Darkness inside. The smell of oil and rust. They stepped in. Their eyes adjusted. Empty crates. Old machinery. Shadows everywhere. Then, movement. Grant raised his gun. Show yourself. A figure stepped into the dim light. Marcus Holt. He wasn't armed. Wasn't running. Just standing there. Waiting. Took you long enough, Marcus said. Grant's finger tightened on the trigger. On your knees. Now. Marcus didn't move. You don't want to shoot me, Grant. Try me. Because if you do, you'll never know the truth. Elias stepped forward. What truth? Marcus looked at him. Smiled. You really think this is about money? What else would it be? Control. Marcus's smile faded. Your company isn't just building tech and hospitals, Mr. Crane. It's building leverage. Influence. Power. And some people don't like that. Who? People who prefer the world the way it is. Messy. Profitable. Controllable. Grant stepped closer. Answer the question. Who sent you? Marcus laughed. You already know. You just don't want to believe it. Hartley, Elias said. Marcus nodded slowly. Hartley. And 3 others on your board. They've been siphoning money for 2 years. Funding projects you'd never approve. Deals you'd shut down. What kind of deals? The kind that make people disappear. The kind that start wars. The kind that keep rich men rich and everyone else in line. Elias felt sick. The bomb wasn't about killing you, Marcus continued. It was about scaring you. Making you back off the audit. Making you realize you're not untouchable. Then why are you here? Grant demanded. Why are you telling us this? Marcus's face hardened. Because I'm done. They promised me money. Safety. A clean exit. But then they changed the plan. Said the bomb needed to actually go off. Said loose ends needed to be tied up. He looked at Elias. I didn't sign up to kill people. I signed up to scare you. That's it. And the girl? Elias's voice was ice. They want her dead too. Marcus didn't answer. That was answer enough. Grant stepped forward. Gun raised. Where are they? Safe. Planning Plan B. And trust me, Plan B is worse. Where are they? Marcus pulled a phone from his pocket. Tossed it to Grant. Everything's on there. Locations. Names. Bank accounts. The whole operation. Grant caught it. Checked the screen. His face went pale. This is... He looked at Elias. Sir, this is bigger than we thought. Elias took the phone. Scrolled through files. Names he recognized. Politicians. Defense contractors. Judges. And at the center of it all, Victor Hartley. They're meeting tomorrow, Marcus said. Emergency board session. They're going to vote you out. Remove you from your own company. Then bury the audit forever. Elias looked up. You're lying. Am I? Silence. Marcus walked to the door. Stopped. Looked back. You were never supposed to die, Mr. Crane. You were just supposed to stay in your lane. He walked out. Grant raised his gun. Should I? Let him go, Elias said quietly. Sir. I said let him go. Grant lowered the gun. Elias stared at the phone in his hand. At the names. The numbers. The proof. His own board was trying to destroy him. And tomorrow, they'd try to finish the job. Elias didn't sleep. He sat in a hotel room. Laptop open. Marcus's phone beside him. Files spread across the bed. Sky was asleep in the other bed. Curled up. Breathing softly. Grant stood by the window. Watching the parking lot. We should call the FBI, Grant said. No. Sir, this is conspiracy. Fraud. Attempted murder. We have evidence. Evidence they'll bury. Elias didn't look up. You see these names? Senator Mallory. Judge Chen. Deputy Director Rawlings at the DOD. These people own the system. Grant was quiet. Elias kept scrolling. Bank transfers. Encrypted emails. Meeting notes. One file caught his eye. Subject, Project Redline. He opened it. His stomach dropped. Grant. Look at this. Grant walked over. Read over Elias's shoulder. Project Redline, Weapons Tech. Unauthorized. Illegal in 17 countries. Funded through shell companies using Crane Industries money. And the buyers, warlords. Dictators. Terrorist networks. They've been using my company to arm monsters, Elias whispered. Grant's face was stone. For 2 years. I built this company to help people. To save lives. And they turned it into a weapons dealer. He stood. Paced. His hands were shaking. How much did they make? Grant scrolled through the financial records. Rough estimate. 300 million. Maybe more. Elias stopped. 300 million. And they tried to kill me over 47. The 47 was just what you found. The rest was still hidden. You kept digging, you'd have found everything. Elias turned. They can't let me present that audit. No. They can't. So tomorrow, they vote me out. Take control. Bury it all. Grant nodded. Elias sat back down. Stared at the screen. 8 board members. 4 were dirty. Hartley. Simmons. Park. Duval. The other 4. Clean. Or at least not involved. Maybe. He needed 5 votes to block the removal. He had his own vote. That was 1. He needed 4 more. What if I go to the clean ones? Elias said. Show them this. Get them on my side. You trust them. I don't trust anyone. But I don't have a choice. Grant checked his watch. Board meeting is at 10. That's 8 hours. Then we start making calls. Elias pulled up the first name. Margaret Chen. Former federal prosecutor. Clean record. Strong ethics. He dialed. 3 rings. Then a groggy voice. Hello. Margaret, it's Elias. I'm sorry to call so late. Elias? Do you know what time it is? I need to talk to you. Before the board meeting. Pause. What's this about? I can't say over the phone. Can you meet me? 6 a.m. Somewhere private. Elias, what's going on? Please, Margaret. Trust me. 6 a.m. I'll send you the address. Long silence. Fine. 6 a.m. She hung up. 1 down. Elias dialed the next number. Robert Finch. Tech entrepreneur. Bought his way onto the board 3 years ago. No answer. He tried again. Still nothing. 3rd call. Voicemail. Robert, it's Elias Crane. We need to talk before tomorrow's meeting. It's urgent. Life and death. Call me back. He hung up. Tried the next name. David Wu. Investment banker. Sharp. Calculating. But honest. The phone rang once. Then a recorded message, the number you have dialed is no longer in service. Elias's blood ran cold. His phone's disconnected. Grant's face darkened. When? Elias checked the call history. I talked to him 3 days ago. It was working then. That's not a coincidence. No. It's not. Elias stood. They got to him. Either he's dead or he's hiding. Or he's one of them. Elias didn't want to believe that. But after everything, he didn't know what to believe anymore. Last name. Patricia Reeves. CFO before she joined the board. She knew the numbers better than anyone. If anyone could see through the fraud, it was her. He dialed. 1 ring. Elias. Her voice was tight. Careful. Patricia. Don't say anything. Not on this line. What? My house is being watched. My phones are tapped. I can't talk. Elias's heart raced. Who's watching you? I don't know. But after you sent that preliminary audit report, things got strange. People started asking questions. Following me. I think. She lowered her voice. I think they know I've been helping you. Helping me? I found more. More accounts. More money. I was going to tell you tomorrow at the meeting. But now I don't know if I'll make it there. Patricia, listen to me. I need you at that meeting. I need your vote. Elias, you don't understand. They're going to. The line went dead. Elias stared at his phone. What happened? Grant asked. She was helping me. Digging deeper into the fraud. And now she's being watched. Grant cursed under his breath. They're cleaning up loose ends. We need to get her out. Bring her somewhere safe. Where's she live? Westchester. About an hour from here. Grant grabbed his jacket. Let's go. What about Sky? They both looked at the sleeping girl. We can't leave her alone, Grant said. And we can't bring her into danger. Silence. Then Sky's voice, quiet but clear. I'm coming with you. They turned. She was sitting up. Wide awake. You were listening, Elias said. You weren't exactly quiet. She stood. And I'm not staying here alone. Not after that phone call you got. Elias started to argue. Then stopped. She was right. If they knew where Elias was, they might know about this hotel. Fine. But you stay in the car. Doors locked. Windows up. She nodded. They grabbed their things. Headed for the door. But as Elias reached for the handle, his phone buzzed. Unknown number. He answered. Hello. That same distorted voice from before. Going somewhere, Mr. Crane. Elias's blood froze. We told you. There's always a plan B. The line went dead. Grant looked at him. What did they say? They know we're moving. How? Elias looked at Marcus's phone. The one with all the evidence. The phone. They're tracking it. Grant grabbed it. Pulled the battery out. Dropped it on the bed. Too late, Elias said quietly. They already know where we are. Sky grabbed his hand. Then we need to go. Now. They ran. They made it to the car. Grant drove. Fast. No headlights until they hit the main road. Elias kept checking the mirrors. Looking for tails. For shadows. Nothing yet. Sky sat in the back. Silent. Holding her knees. How far to Patricia's house? Elias asked. 40 minutes. Maybe less if traffic's clear. Elias checked his phone. 5 a.m. The city was still asleep. His phone rang. Robert Finch. Finally. Robert. Elias, what the hell is going on? Robert's voice was panicked. I just got a call. Someone saying if I show up to the board meeting tomorrow, I'm making a mistake. A fatal mistake. Who called you? I don't know. Blocked number. But they knew things, Elias. They knew about my daughter's school. My wife's schedule. They weren't making empty threats. Elias's jaw clenched. Robert, listen to me. They're trying to scare you. Don't let them. Scare me. They threatened my family. I know. And I'm going to stop them. But I need you at that meeting. I need your vote. My vote? Elias, they're trying to kill you. You understand that, right? This isn't about business anymore. It never was about business. It's about control. Power. And if we don't stop them tomorrow, they win. They take everything. Silence on the line. Robert. Please. I can't. I'm sorry. My family comes first. They'll come after you anyway. Whether you vote or not. You know too much now. Robert's breathing was heavy. Panicked. Then what do I do? You show up. You vote with me. And we end this. Long pause. I'll think about it. He hung up. Grant glanced over. We losing him? Maybe. They got to him. Threatened his family. Smart. Isolate you. Turn your allies against you. Elias stared out the window. How many votes do I have? Margaret said she'd meet you. That's one. Patricia's trying to help, if we get her out, that's two. Robert's a maybe. That's three at best. I need 5. Then we're short. What about you? Grant looked at him. Sir. You were head of security. You sat in on board meetings. You had advisory privileges. I didn't have a vote. But you had a voice. The board listened to you. Grant shook his head. Not anymore. Not after today. I'm the guy who let a bomb get planted. I'm done. You're the guy who's helping me stop this. That counts for something. Grant didn't respond. They drove in silence. 20 minutes later, they pulled onto Patricia Street. Quiet neighborhood. Big houses. Manicured lawns. Patricia's house was dark. No cars in the driveway. No lights on. That's not right, Elias said. She should be awake. Waiting for us. Grant parked 2 houses down. Cut the engine. Stay here, he told Sky. She nodded. Elias and Grant got out. Moved quietly toward the house. The front door was cracked open. Grant pulled his gun. Motioned for Elias to stay back. He pushed the door open. Stepped inside. Silence. Elias followed. The house was a mess. Furniture overturned. Papers scattered. A broken lamp on the floor. Patricia. Elias called out. No answer. They moved through the living room. Into the kitchen. Still nothing. Then Grant stopped. Stared at the floor. Blood. Not a lot. Just a few drops. Leading toward the back door. Grant followed the trail. Elias stayed close. The back door was open. Leading to the yard. They stepped outside. And there, at the edge of the property, was Patricia. Sitting on the ground. Back against a tree. Hands tied. Patricia. Elias ran toward her. She looked up. Her face was bruised. Lip split. Eye swollen. Elias, don't. Her voice was weak. Grant reached her first. Checked her restraints. Who did this? He demanded. She coughed. Blood on her lips. They came, 2 hours ago. 2 men. Wanted the files. The evidence I found. Did you give it to them? She smiled through the pain. No. I burned it. Before they got here. Told them it was gone. Where's the original? She looked at Elias. In your office. Hidden. I put it there 3 days ago. Behind the bookshelf. The one your father gave you. Elias's chest tightened. His father's bookshelf. The one thing he'd never move. Never touch. Why didn't you tell me? I was going to. Tomorrow. At the meeting. But they found out I was helping you. She coughed again. They're watching everything, Elias. Everyone. You can't trust anyone. Grant cut the ropes. Helped her stand. She winced. They said if I show up tomorrow, they'll kill me. And my sister. And her kids. We'll protect them. She laughed bitterly. How? You can't even protect yourself. Grant's radio crackled. A voice. Urgent. Grant, it's Marcus. If you're listening, get out of there. Now. They're coming. Elias froze. How does he have your frequency? I don't know. The radio crackled again. I'm serious. They're 2 minutes out. Black SUVs. Armed. They're not here to talk. Grant grabbed Patricia. We need to move. Now. They ran back through the house. Out the front door. Sky was still in the car. Eyes wide. She'd heard everything on Grant's radio. Get in the back, Grant barked at Patricia. She climbed in. Elias jumped in front. Grant started the engine. Headlights appeared at the end of the street. 2 black SUVs. Moving fast. Go! Elias shouted. Grant floored it. The SUVs accelerated. Chasing. They flew through the neighborhood. 60. 70. 80. The SUVs stayed close. One pulled alongside. Window rolled down. A gun appeared. Get down! Grant yelled. Shots fired. Glass shattered. Sky screamed. Grant swerved. Clipped the SUV. Sent it spinning into a parked car. One down. The second SUV rammed them from behind. The car lurched forward. Grant fought the wheel. Hold on. He yanked the wheel left. Cut through someone's yard. Over the lawn. Through a fence. They hit the next street. Kept going. The SUV followed. Relentless. More shots. The back windshield exploded. Patricia ducked. Pulled Sky down with her. Grant, we can't outrun them. Elias shouted. I know. Grant made a hard right. Into an alley. Too narrow for the SUV. It tried to follow. Scraped the walls. Slowed down. Grant punched the gas. Out of the alley. Onto the main road. He didn't stop. Didn't slow. 5 minutes later, the SUV was gone. They drove in silence. Hearts pounding. Finally, Patricia spoke. Her voice shaking. They're going to kill all of us, Elias. One by one. Until there's no one left to vote against them. Elias stared ahead. Jaw clenched. Then we make sure they don't get the chance. They pulled into an underground parking garage. Downtown. Public. Cameras everywhere. Safer here, Grant said. Too many witnesses. They sat in silence. Catching their breath. Patricia was in the back seat. Holding a torn piece of fabric against her bleeding lip. Sky sat beside her. Small. Quiet. Elias turned around. Looked at Sky. She hadn't said a word since the gunfire. Just stared at her hands. Sky. You okay? She didn't look up. Sky. I heard them, she whispered. Heard who? The men shooting. They were yelling. They said they wanted the girl too. Elias's blood went cold. They know about me, Sky continued. They know I saw them. And now they want me dead. Patricia reached over. Put a hand on her shoulder. No one's going to hurt you. You said the same thing about yourself. Look what happened. Patricia had no answer for that. Elias opened his door. Got out. Walked a few steps away. Grant followed. We can't keep running, Elias said quietly. They'll find us. Pick us off one by one. Then what do you want to do? We go on offense. We stop hiding. How? Elias pulled out his phone. Checked the time. 6:15 a.m. The board meeting is in less than 4 hours. We show up. We present everything. Every file. Every name. Every bank account. We expose them in front of everyone. You'll never make it to the building. They'll stop you before you get inside. Then we don't go to the building. Grant frowned. What? The meeting's supposed to be at headquarters. Private. Closed doors. That's what they want. Somewhere they control. So where do we go? Elias thought for a moment. Then it hit him. We go public. Sir. We call a press conference. Right now. This morning. Before the board meeting. We put everything on camera. Make it impossible for them to bury it. Grant stared at him. That's insane. You have no proof. Just files from Marcus's phone, files we can't even verify. We have Patricia. She's a board member. She can verify. Grant looked back at the car. At Patricia. Bruised. Bleeding. Terrified. She's not going to agree to that. Then I'll do it alone. Elias. They tried to kill me, Grant. They threatened a 10-year-old girl. They turned my own company into a weapons pipeline. I'm done playing defense. Grant was quiet. Then, if you do this, there's no going back. You'll be a target for the rest of your life. I'm already a target. Silence. Elias walked back to the car. Opened Patricia's door. I need you to do something. She looked up. Eyes full of fear. What? I need you to go on camera. Tell the world what's happening. Her face went pale. Are you insane? Probably. Elias, they'll kill me. They'll kill my sister. They're going to kill you anyway. You know that. Whether you talk or stay silent. At least this way, the truth gets out. The truth doesn't stop bullets. No. But it stops them from winning. Patricia stared at him. Then at Sky. Sky looked back. Those wide, terrified eyes. She saved your life, Patricia said quietly. I know. And now she's going to die because of it. Not if we stop them first. Patricia was quiet for a long moment. Then she wiped the blood from her lip. Straightened her jacket. Where's the press conference? Elias smiled. City Hall. Steps out front. Maximum visibility. When? 8 a.m. That gives us 90 minutes to get ready. Patricia took a deep breath. I must be insane too. Elias turned to Grant. Call every news outlet you know. Tell them Elias Crane has a major announcement. Corporate corruption. Assassination attempts. They'll show up. Grant nodded. Pulled out his phone. Elias looked at Sky. She was still sitting there. Silent. Staring. He crouched down beside the car. Sky. Look at me. She did. You saved my life yesterday. You know that, right? She nodded slowly. And today, I'm going to save yours. I promise. How? By making sure the people who want to hurt you can never touch you. By making sure the whole world knows what they did. What if it doesn't work? Elias was quiet. Then at least we tried. She stared at him for a moment. Then nodded. Okay. Elias stood. Grant was on his phone. Making calls. Yeah. 8 a.m. City Hall. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Patricia was fixing her hair in the side mirror. Trying to look presentable despite the bruises. And Sky, small, scared, but still here, was watching everything. This 10-year-old girl who'd shouted at a billionaire. Who'd seen something wrong and refused to stay silent. She didn't know it yet. But she just changed the entire game. Not by staying quiet. Not by hiding. But by speaking up. And now, Elias was going to do the same. No matter the cost. 7:45 a.m. City Hall steps were already packed. Cameras. Reporters. Microphones. Flashing lights. Grant had delivered. Every major outlet showed up. Local news. national networks. Even international press. They smelled blood in the water. Elias stood behind a pillar. Out of sight. Watching the crowd grow. Patricia was beside him. She'd cleaned up as best she could. Covered the bruises with makeup. But the split lip was still visible. Good. Let them see it. Sky was with Grant. Back in the car. Doors locked. He wasn't taking any chances. You ready? Elias asked Patricia. She laughed nervously. No. You. Not even close. They stood in silence. Then Patricia spoke. I've worked with you for 8 years, Elias. You know that? I know. And in all that time, I never thought you were stupid. Until now. He looked at her. Second thoughts. 1,000,000 of them. She took a breath. But I'm still here. Why? She pointed toward the car. Toward Sky. Because that little girl risked everything to save a stranger. And if she can do that, then so can I. Elias nodded. His phone buzzed. Margaret Chen. The board member he'd called last night. He answered. Margaret. Elias, what the hell are you doing? I'm watching the news. They're saying you called a press conference. Is this about the board meeting? Yes. Are you out of your mind? You can't. Margaret, I need you to listen. Everything I'm about to say is true. Victor Hartley and 3 other board members have been stealing from the company. Millions. Possibly hundreds of millions. They've been funding illegal weapons deals. And when I tried to expose them, they tried to kill me. Silence. Margaret, are you there? I'm here. Her voice was tight. Do you have proof? Yes. Bank records. Emails. Shell companies. Everything. Then why not go to the authorities? Because half the authorities are on their payroll. More silence. Margaret, I need your vote today. At the meeting. If Hartley tries to remove me, I need you to vote no. Elias, if what you're saying is true. It is. Then you're about to destroy this company. The board. The reputation. Everything we've built. Better to destroy it than let it become a weapons dealer. She was quiet for a long moment. I'll be at the meeting, she finally said. But I'm not promising anything. She hung up. Elias pocketed his phone. Grant appeared. It's time. Elias took a breath. Looked at Patricia. Let's go. They stepped out from behind the pillar. The crowd saw them immediately. Cameras swung around. Reporters surged forward. Mr. Crane. Mr. Crane. Is it true you were almost killed? What's this press conference about? Elias walked to the microphone. Patricia stood beside him. The crowd went silent. Elias looked out at the cameras. At the faces. At the world watching. This was it. No going back. My name is Elias Crane, he began. And I'm here to tell you the truth about my company. The cameras flashed. 2 days ago, someone tried to kill me. They planted a bomb in my helicopter. It was wired to detonate at 10,000 feet. If it had gone off, I wouldn't be standing here. The crowd murmured. I survived because of a 10-year-old girl. A homeless child who saw something wrong and refused to stay silent. She saved my life. More murmurs. Since then, I've discovered why someone wanted me dead. It's because I was about to expose a conspiracy within my own company. Members of my board have been stealing millions. Funneling money through shell companies. Using my company to fund illegal weapons deals. The crowd erupted. Questions shouted from every direction. Elias raised his hand. I have evidence. Bank records. Names. Dates. Everything. And I'm turning it over to federal authorities today. Who's behind this? A reporter shouted. 4 members of my board. Victor Hartley. James Simmons. David Park. And Richard Duval. The cameras went wild. These men used my company, built to help people, and turned it into a weapon. They armed dictators. Terrorists. Warlords. All while pretending to be legitimate businessmen. He paused. And when I tried to stop them, they tried to kill me. Patricia stepped forward. My name is Patricia Reeves. I'm a board member at Crane Industries. And everything Mr. Crane just said is true. I helped uncover the fraud. And last night, 2 men broke into my home. Beat me. Threatened my family. All to keep me silent. She pointed to her bruised face. The cameras zoomed in. But I'm not staying silent, she said. Because if we don't stop this now, they'll keep doing it. To others. To anyone who gets in their way. The crowd was in chaos. Reporters screaming questions. Cameramen pushing forward. Elias raised his voice. In 2 hours, there's a board meeting. Victor Hartley and his associates plan to vote me out. Remove me from my own company. So they can bury this forever. He looked directly into the cameras. I'm not letting that happen. And I'm asking anyone who believes in accountability, in justice, to stand with me. He stepped back from the microphone. The reporters swarmed. Questions flying. Grant appeared. Pushed through the crowd. We need to move. Now. Why? Grant pointed. Across the street. A black SUV. Just sitting there. Watching. They're here, Grant said. Elias's stomach dropped. He grabbed Patricia. Stay close. They pushed through the crowd. Toward the car where Sky was waiting. But the SUV was already moving. Cutting through traffic. Heading straight for them. Run! Grant shouted. They ran. The SUV accelerated. Elias reached the car. Yanked the door open. Sky was in the back seat. Eyes wide. Get down, he yelled. She ducked. The SUV screeched to a stop 10 feet away. Doors opened. 2 men stepped out. Armed. Grant pulled his gun. Federal officer. Drop your weapons. The men didn't move. One of them smiled. No, you're not. You're just a guy who failed to protect his boss. Grant's jaw clenched. The man raised his gun. Aimed at Elias. Should have gotten in the helicopter. Time slowed. Elias saw the finger tighten on the trigger. Saw Grant step in front of him. Saw the barrel flash. The shot echoed through the street. But it wasn't Elias who fell. It was Grant. Grant hit the ground. Blood spreading across his chest. No. Elias dropped beside him. The crowd screamed. People scattered. Cameras still rolling. The gunman raised his weapon again. But sirens cut through the chaos. Police. Dozens of them. Responding to the commotion. The 2 men looked at each other. Then ran. Back to the SUV. Tires screaming as they fled. Elias pressed his hands against Grant's chest. Stay with me. Stay with me. Grant's eyes were unfocused. Blood on his lips. Sir. Don't talk. Just hold on. Paramedics pushed through. Loaded Grant onto a stretcher. He's losing too much blood. Get him to the hospital. Now. They lifted him. Rushed him to the ambulance. Elias tried to follow. But a police officer stopped him. Sir, we need to secure the scene. That's my friend. Sir, please step back. Elias watched the ambulance pull away. Sirens wailing. Patricia appeared beside him. Face pale. Is he? I don't know. Police swarmed the area. Crime scene tape going up. Witnesses being questioned. And through it all, cameras. Still recording. Still broadcasting. The world had just watched a man get shot on the steps of City Hall. A reporter pushed through. Microphone in Elias's face. Mr. Crane, do you believe that shooting was connected to your allegations? Elias stared at the camera. At the lens. Yes. Do you fear for your life? Every second. Will you still attend the board meeting? Elias was quiet for a moment. Then, absolutely. The reporter blinked. Even after what just happened. Especially after what just happened. They just proved everything I said was true. They're willing to kill in broad daylight. In front of witnesses. In front of cameras. That's not the behavior of innocent men. He turned and walked back to the car. Sky was still in the back. Shaking. Tears streaming down her face. Is he dead? She whispered. No. He's going to be okay. He hoped that was true. Patricia got in the passenger seat. What now? Elias checked his watch. 9:30 a.m. Now we go to the board meeting. Elias, you can't be serious. They just tried to kill you. Again. And the whole world saw it. Every news outlet. Every camera. They can't hide anymore. They can still kill you. Then let them try. But I'm not backing down. He started the car. Patricia stared at him. You've lost your mind. Maybe. But I'm finishing this. 10 a.m. Crane Industries headquarters. 47th floor. Boardroom. Elias walked through the doors. The room fell silent. 8 board members sat around the table. Victor Hartley at the head. They all stared. You're late, Hartley said coldly. I got held up. Someone tried to kill me. Again. Hartley's face was stone. We saw. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Elias walked to his seat. A man took a bullet for me an hour ago. That's more than unfortunate. Nevertheless, we have business to conduct. Elias sat down. Patricia took the seat beside him. Margaret Chen was there. Looking uncomfortable. Robert Finch too. Eyes darting nervously. The 4 conspirators sat together. Hartley. Simmons. Park. Duval. United. Confident. Let's get started, Hartley said. First order of business. A vote of no confidence in Elias Crane as CEO. On what grounds? Margaret asked. Gross misconduct. Reckless endangerment of company assets. Unauthorized investigations. And as of this morning, public defamation. Defamation? Elias laughed. I told the truth. You made wild accusations without board approval. You damaged our reputation. Cost us billions in stock value. That alone is grounds for removal. Or maybe the stock dropped because investors realized you've been stealing from them. Hartley's eyes narrowed. Careful, Elias. Why? What are you going to do? Kill me? You already tried. Twice. On camera. I have no idea what you're talking about. Elias pulled out a tablet. Set it on the table. This is Marcus Holt's phone. It has everything. Bank transfers. Shell companies. Project Redline. Every deal you made. Every weapon you sold. Hartley didn't blink. Stolen evidence is inadmissible. In court, maybe. But we're not in court. We're in a board meeting. And everyone here is about to see exactly what you've been doing. He pressed play. Audio recording. Marcus and another man talking. Hartley approved the shipment. Yeah. 40 million in weapons tech. Going to Yemen. And Crane doesn't know. Crane doesn't know anything. By the time he figures it out, we'll be gone. The room went silent. Hartley's face was unreadable. That proves nothing. Could be anyone. It's Marcus Holt. Your guy. The one you had planted the bomb. I didn't. You hired him. You vouched for him. You gave him access. And when I started asking questions, you ordered him to kill me. That's absurd. Elias stood. Walked around the table. Is it? Then explain the money. Explain the offshore accounts. Explain why Marcus ran the moment the bomb was discovered. Hartley said nothing. Elias turned to the others. You've all seen the news. You know what happened this morning. A man was shot. In broad daylight. On the steps of City Hall. Why? Because I told the truth. He looked at each of them. I'm asking you now. Who do you believe? Me? Or him? Silence. Margaret spoke first. I vote to keep Elias as CEO. Hartley's jaw clenched. Robert Finch cleared his throat. I vote to keep him too. 2 votes. Patricia raised her hand. I vote to keep him. 3. Elias needed 5 to block the removal. He looked at the others. David Wu. The one whose phone was disconnected. He sat there. Silent. Face blank. Then he raised his hand. I vote to keep Elias. 4 votes. Hartley's face darkened. This is a mistake. All of you. 1 more. Elias needed 1 more. He looked at the remaining 3 board members. All allies of Hartley. They sat in silence. Then, movement. James Simmons. One of the conspirators. He stood. I vote to remove Elias Crane. Park stood. I vote to remove him. Duval stood. I vote to remove him. 4-4. Tie. Hartley smiled. In the event of a tie, the chairman casts the deciding vote. He looked at Elias. I vote to remove Elias Crane. Effective immediately. The room exploded. Margaret stood. This is illegal. You can't. I just did, Hartley said calmly. Security will escort Mr. Crane from the building. The doors opened. 4 security guards entered. But they weren't Crane Industries security. They were the same men from the SUV. The same men who shot Grant. Elias's blood went cold. Hartley smiled. Gentlemen. Please remove Mr. Crane. Permanently. The guards moved forward. Elias backed up. Hands raised. You're going to kill me. Here. In front of witnesses. Hartley stood. No one's killing anyone. We're simply escorting you out. Those are the men who shot Grant Morrison. Prove it. Margaret stood. Victor, this is insane. You can't. Sit down, Margaret. I will not. One of the guards turned. Pointed his gun at her. She froze. Sit down. Margaret slowly sat. The room was silent. Terrified. Elias looked at Patricia. At Robert. At Margaret. They were trapped. All of them. Walk, the guard said. Gun trained on Elias. Elias didn't move. The whole world is watching. Every news station is outside this building. You think you can just walk me out and disappear me? We're not disappearing you, Hartley said smoothly. We're relocating you. For your own safety. After this morning's incident, we feel it's best if you lie low for a while. Lie low. Or lie dead. Hartley smiled. That's up to you. The guard grabbed Elias's arm. Let's go. Elias pulled away. Get your hands off me. The guard raised his gun. Pressed it against Elias's ribs. I said. Let's go. Elias looked around the room. At the board members. At Patricia's terrified face. He had no choice. He walked. The guards flanked him. One in front. One behind. Guns concealed but ready. They moved through the hallway. Past offices. Past employees who stared but said nothing. Toward the elevator. The doors opened. Inside. Elias stepped in. The guards followed. Doors closed. 47 floors down. Elias's mind raced. When those doors opened, he was dead. They'd walk him to a car. Drive him somewhere quiet. And that would be it. The elevator descended. 30 floors. 20. 10. He needed a plan. The guard behind him was too close. Gun pressed against his back. The one in front was watching him. Hand inside his jacket. No way out. 5 floors. 4. 3. The elevator slowed. Ground floor. Doors opened. The lobby was chaos. Police. Reporters. Cameras. Dozens of them. They'd pushed inside. Demanding answers. The guards stopped. Exchanged looks. Back in trance, one muttered. They pulled Elias back into the elevator. Hit the button for the parking garage. Doors closed. Down they went. Basement level. The doors opened. Dark. Empty. Just rows of cars. Perfect place for an execution. Walk. Elias walked. Toward the far corner. Away from the cameras. Away from witnesses. He was out of time. Stop. Elias stopped. Turned around. The guard raised his gun. No more hiding it. You should have stayed out of it, he said. Yeah. I get that a lot. The guard's finger moved to the trigger. Then, a voice. Don't. Everyone turned. Sky. Standing 20 feet away. Small. Shaking. But holding something in her hands. A phone. I'm recording, she said. Her voice trembled but held firm. I'm streaming this live. Right now. Thousands of people are watching. The guard lowered his gun slightly. Kid, put the phone down. No. I said put it down. And I said no. She raised it higher. Everyone can see you. They can see your face. They know what you're about to do. The guard looked at his partner. Then back at Sky. You're bluffing. Am I? She turned the phone around. Showed the screen. Live count, 4,832 viewers. Comments flooding in. Call the police. Someone save him. I'm calling 911. The guard's face went pale. Shut it off. Make me. He started toward her. Take one more step and everyone watching will see you hurt a child. He stopped. Sirens. Distant but getting closer. Someone watching the stream had called the police. The guards looked at each other. Then at Elias. This isn't over, one of them said. They ran toward a black SUV parked in the corner. Engine roared. Tires screeched. They were gone. Elias stared at Sky. She lowered the phone. Her hands were shaking so badly she almost dropped it. He walked over. Knelt down. How did you? I followed you. Stayed back. Watched. She looked up at him. Tears in her eyes. You saved my life. I wasn't going to let them take yours. Elias pulled her into a hug. She buried her face in his shoulder. Started crying. It's okay, he whispered. You did it. You saved me. I was so scared. I know. But you did it anyway. Police flooded the garage. Guns drawn. Shouting. Hands up. Nobody move. Elias raised his hands. I'm Elias Crane. Those men who just left, they tried to kill me. An officer approached. Looked at Sky. Then at Elias. We've been watching the stream. Half the city has. We've got units pursuing the suspects now. More police arrived. Then reporters. Cameras. The stream was still live. Sky turned the phone around. Showed Elias the screen. Viewer count, 23,409. And climbing. The world was watching. A reporter pushed through. Mr. Crane. Is it true Victor Hartley tried to have you killed? Elias looked at the camera. Yes. What are you going to do now? Elias looked down at Sky. At this brave little girl who'd risked everything. Twice. I'm going to finish what we started. He took Sky's hand. They walked out of the garage together. Into the light. Into the cameras. And for the first time since this nightmare began, Elias wasn't running. He was ready to fight. They didn't go back to the hotel. Too exposed. Too obvious. Instead, Elias took Sky to the one place no one would think to look. His father's old house. Outside the city. Quiet street. The house had been empty for 3 years. Since his father died. Elias unlocked the door. Dust covered everything. Furniture draped in white sheets. Where are we? Sky asked. Somewhere safe. He pulled the sheets off the couch. Sat down. Sky sat beside him. Still holding her phone. The stream had ended. But the damage was done. The video was everywhere. Every news site. Every social media platform. Victor Hartley's face plastered across headlines. Billionaire board member orders hit. Crane Industries CEO targeted for assassination. 10-year-old girl saves billionaire, twice. Sky stared at her phone. People keep messaging me. Calling me a hero. You are a hero. She shook her head. I'm just a kid. I was scared the whole time. Being a hero doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you do the right thing even when you are. She looked up at him. Did you learn that from someone? My father. Where is he? Gone. He died 3 years ago. Oh. She was quiet. I'm sorry. Me too. They sat in silence. Then Sky spoke again. What happened to him? Elias took a breath. Heart attack. Sudden. He was at his desk. Working. Just stopped. Did you get to say goodbye? No. I was in Singapore. Business trip. By the time I got back, he was already gone. Sky's small hand found his. Squeezed. That's why you work so hard, she said quietly. You're trying to make him proud. Elias looked at her. This 10-year-old girl who saw through him in seconds. Yeah. I guess I am. Do you think he'd be proud now? Elias thought about it. About the company. The corruption. The fighting. I don't know. Maybe. I'm trying to do what's right. That's what he always taught me. Then he's proud. Elias smiled. How do you know? Because that's what parents do. They're proud when you try. Even if you mess up. You sound like you know a lot about parents. Her smile faded. I used to have them. A long time ago. What happened? She looked down. Car accident. I was 7. After that, I went to different homes. Foster homes. But none of them kept me. Why not? She shrugged. I was too much trouble. Too loud. Too angry. I didn't like following rules. So what happened? I ran. Ended up on the streets. Been there ever since. Elias's chest tightened. 3 years. You've been alone for 3 years. Not always alone. There are other kids. We look out for each other. Sky. It's okay. I'm good at surviving. That's not okay. No child should have to survive. They should get to live. She looked at him. What's the difference? He didn't have an answer. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. He answered. Hello. Mr. Crane. This is Detective Sarah Park. NYPD. We need to talk. About what? Victor Hartley. We've issued a warrant for his arrest. Attempted murder. Conspiracy. Fraud. The list goes on. But he's gone. Gone where? We don't know. He left the country. Private jet took off 2 hours ago. No flight plan filed. We're working with federal authorities to track him. Elias's jaw clenched. He's running. Yes. But we'll find him. In the meantime, you need protection. Those men in the garage, we haven't found them yet either. I'm fine. Sir, with respect, you're not fine. You've survived 3 assassination attempts in 2 days. You need a protective detail. I'll handle it myself. Mr. Crane. Thank you, Detective. Let me know when you find Hartley. He hung up. Sky was watching him. He got away. For now. What if he comes back? Then I'll be ready. She didn't look convinced. Elias's phone buzzed again. This time, a text. From Patricia. Grant's in surgery. Critical but stable. Doctors say he might make it. Elias exhaled. Relief flooding through him. Grant's alive, he said to Sky. Her face lit up. Really? Yeah. He's going to make it. She smiled. First real smile he'd seen from her. That's good. He saved you. He did. Will you visit him? As soon as I can. Another text. This time from Margaret Chen. Emergency board meeting called. Tomorrow. 9 a.m. Hartley's replacement as chairman. You need to be there. Elias stared at the message. The board wanted him back. After everything. After the chaos. They needed him to fix this. He looked at Sky. She was curled up on the couch now. Eyes heavy. You should sleep, he said gently. I'm not tired. You're exhausted. She didn't argue. Just pulled her knees to her chest. Mr. Crane. Yeah. What's going to happen to me? After all this? The question hung in the air. What do you want to happen? She was quiet for a long time. Then, I don't want to be alone anymore. Elias's throat tightened. He thought about his empty penthouse. His cold office. His life of meetings and deals and money. All of it meaningless. But this girl, this brave, scared, beautiful soul, she was real. You won't be, he said quietly. How do you know? Because I'm not going to let you. She looked up at him. Eyes searching his face. What does that mean? Elias took a breath. It means, if you want, you can stay with me. Not on the streets. Not in foster care. With me. Her eyes went wide. Like, forever. If that's what you want. Tears filled her eyes. You mean it? I mean it. She launched herself at him. Wrapped her arms around his neck. Sobbed into his shoulder. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Elias held her tight. This girl who'd saved his life. Who'd seen him at his worst and stood by him anyway. No, he whispered. Thank you. She pulled back. Wiped her eyes. For what? For reminding me what matters. She smiled through her tears. And for the first time in 3 years, since his father died, Elias didn't feel alone. He had someone to protect. Someone to fight for. Someone who needed him as much as he needed her. Get some sleep, he said gently. Tomorrow's a big day. What happens tomorrow? Tomorrow, we take back the company. And we make sure people like Hartley never win again. She nodded. Lay down on the couch. Within minutes, she was asleep. Elias watched her. This small, fierce warrior. And he made a silent promise. He would keep her safe. No matter what it cost. 3 weeks later. Crane Industries headquarters. Boardroom. 9 a.m. The room looked different now. New faces. New energy. Victor Hartley's seat was empty. Permanently. He'd been arrested in Monaco. Extradited back to the U.S. Awaiting trial along with Simmons, Park, and Duvall. All 4 facing decades in prison. Marcus Holt had cut a deal. Testified against them in exchange for a reduced sentence. The evidence was overwhelming. Bank records. Recordings. Emails. Everything Marcus had given them checked out. Project Redline was shut down. The weapons deals exposed. The offshore accounts frozen. 47 million recovered. Another 180 million traced and seized. The company's stock had tanked at first. But then, slowly, it started climbing back. Investors saw the truth. Saw Elias fighting for transparency. For accountability. And they believed in him again. Elias sat at the head of the table now. Officially reinstated as CEO. Margaret Chen sat to his right. The new board chairman. Patricia Reeves to his left. Her bruises had healed. But the memory remained. For new board members filled the empty seats. People Elias had vetted personally. People he could trust. And in the corner, watching quietly, was Grant Morrison. He'd survived. 3 surgeries. 2 months of recovery. The bullet had missed his heart by 2 inches. Doctors called it a miracle. Grant called it luck. Elias called it sacrifice. Grant was back on light duty now. Advisor role. No more field work. Doctor's orders. But he was alive. And that's what mattered. Let's get started, Elias said. The room quieted. First order of business. The restructuring plan. Margaret pulled up a presentation. We've identified 12 departments that need oversight. New leadership. New protocols. We're implementing a transparency initiative. Every financial transaction over $10,000 gets reviewed by an independent board. Patricia added, we're also establishing a whistleblower protection program. Anonymous reporting. Full legal protection for anyone who comes forward with concerns. Elias nodded. Good. What else? Robert Finch spoke up. The DoD has cleared us. Investigations closed. They found no evidence of company-wide involvement. Just the 4 conspirators. And our contracts. Most are intact. A few got suspended, but we're working to restore them. How long? 6 months. Maybe less. Elias leaned back. We can work with that. They went through the rest of the agenda. Budget reviews. New hires. Policy changes. Everything was moving forward. Slowly. Carefully. But forward. After an hour, Elias stood. One more thing. Everyone looked up. I'm announcing a new initiative today. The Sky Project. Confused faces around the table. What's the Sky Project? Margaret asked. A program for homeless youth. Housing. Education. Job training. We're going to build a facility, state-of-the-art, to help kids who've fallen through the cracks. Patricia smiled. Named after the girl who saved you. Named after the girl who saved all of us. How much are we investing? 20 million. Initial phase. More if needed. Robert whistled. That's a significant commitment. It's the right commitment. No one argued. Margaret nodded. I'll draft the proposal. We'll vote on it next meeting. Thank you. The meeting ended. People filed out. Grant stayed behind. That was a good thing you did, he said. It's what she deserves. Where is she now? School. First day. Grant smiled. How's she handling it? Nervous. Excited. She's been out of school for 3 years. But she's smart. She'll catch up. You really going through with the adoption? Elias nodded. Lawyers filing the papers this week. Should be official in a few months. That's a big step. I know. You ready for it? Elias thought about it. About late-night talks. About teaching her to read financial reports. About her laughter filling his empty penthouse. Yeah. I think I am. Grant stood. Clapped him on the shoulder. Your father would be proud. You think? I know. They walked out together. Later that afternoon. Elias stood outside a small school in Brooklyn. Kids poured out. Laughing. Shouting. Free. Then he saw her. Sky. Walking out with a backpack almost as big as she was. She spotted him. Her face lit up. She ran over. You came. Of course I came. How was it? Hard. But good. The teacher was nice. She said I'm behind but I can catch up. You will. I'll help you. Really? Really? They walked to the car. She climbed in. As Elias started the engine, she spoke quietly. Thank you. For what? For everything. For believing me. For keeping your promise. For wanting me. Elias's chest tightened. He reached over. Took her hand. Sky. You don't have to thank me. You saved my life. Twice. I'm the one who should be thanking you. But you gave me a home. A family. That's bigger than saving a life. You think so? I know so. They drove in comfortable silence. Then Sky spoke again. Mr. Crane. You can call me Elias. Or, if you want, something else. She looked at him. Like what? He hesitated. Like, Dad. If you're comfortable with that. Her eyes went wide. Filled with tears. Really? Really? Only if you want. She threw her arms around him. Yes. 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 Elias laughed. Hugged her back. When she pulled away, she was smiling through tears. Okay, Dad. The word hit him harder than he expected. Dad. He'd never thought he'd hear that word. Never thought he'd have a family. But here it was. Not the family he expected. Not blood. Something better. Something chosen. They drove home together. And for the first time in years, Elias Crane wasn't building an empire. He was building a life. One day at a time. One moment at a time. With the girl who'd changed everything. 6 months later. The construction was almost finished. Elias stood in the driveway, looking up at the building. 3 stories. Red brick. Wide windows. A garden in front. The Sky Project. His architect had designed it perfectly. Not institutional. Not cold. It looked like a home. Because that's what it was supposed to be. What do you think? Patricia walked up beside him. It's beautiful. Better than the blueprints. Much better. She checked her tablet. We've got the first group arriving next week. 15 kids. Ages 8 to 16. Staff ready. Fully trained. Counselors. Teachers. Medical personnel. We even hired a chef, someone who actually cares about what these kids eat. Elias smiled. Good. They walked inside. The lobby was warm. Soft lighting. Comfortable furniture. Artwork on the walls, donated by local artists. We've got individual rooms on the second floor, Patricia explained. Each kid gets their own space. Their own bed. Their own desk. What about common areas? Library on the first floor. Recreation room in the basement. Study areas throughout. And the garden, that's for therapy sessions and just peace. Elias walked through each room. Everything felt right. Not a shelter. Not a facility. A home. They reached the 3rd floor. Patricia opened the door. This is the director's office. I thought you might want to see it. Inside, a simple desk. Bookshelves. A window overlooking the garden. On the wall, a photo. Sky. Smiling. Holding a sign that said, Grand Opening. When did she take that? Elias asked. Last week. She came by with Grant. Wanted to see the progress. Elias stared at the photo. This place existed because of her. Because she'd been brave enough to shout when everyone else stayed silent. She wants to volunteer here, Patricia said. On weekends. Help the younger kids adjust. She told you that? She told me she knows what it's like. To have nowhere to go. She wants to make sure they know they're not alone. Elias felt his throat tighten. She's special, Patricia said quietly. You know that, right? I know. She's going to change the world. She already has. They walked back downstairs. Outside, a car pulled up. Sky jumped out. Backpack over her shoulder. Grant followed, slower, still recovering, but stronger. Dad! Sky ran over. The word still made his heart skip. Dad! 6 months and it still felt new. Still felt like a gift. What are you doing here? He asked. Grant brought me. I wanted to see it before the opening. What do you think? She looked up at the building. Her eyes went wide. It's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. It looks like somewhere I would have wanted to live. When I had nowhere else. Elias knelt down. That's exactly what I was hoping for. She hugged him tight. Grant walked over. Looking good, boss. Thanks to you. You vetted the security system. Someone has to keep these kids safe. How are you feeling? Grant stretched. Better. Doc says I can go back to full duty next month. You sure you want to? What else am I going to do? Sit around? You could rest. Rest is boring. Elias laughed. Patricia checked her watch. I've got a meeting with the licensing board in an hour. Final inspections tomorrow. If everything checks out, we're officially open next Monday. Anything we need to worry about? Nothing major. Just paperwork. Good. She left. Elias, Sky, and Grant stood in the garden. You know what's crazy? Sky said. What? A year ago, I was sleeping in that hangar. Cold. Hungry. Alone. And now? She looked around. Now I'm standing here. In a place that's going to help kids just like me. You did this, Elias said. You inspired this. No. You built it. Because of you. She smiled. Then we did it together. Grant's phone rang. He answered. Morrison. His face changed. When? Where? He hung up. Looked at Elias. That was Detective Park. Victor Hartley escaped. Elias's blood went cold. What? Prison transport. This morning. 2 guards dead. Hartley's gone. How is that possible? Inside help. Someone on his payroll. They're investigating, but he's out there. Yeah. Sky grabbed Elias's hand. Is he coming for us? I don't know. Grant's jaw tightened. I'm calling in extra security. For you. For the project. For everyone. Do it. Grant walked away, phone to his ear. Elias looked down at Sky. She was scared. Trying to hide it, but scared. It's going to be okay, he said. How do you know? Because I'm not going to let anything happen to you. I promise. She nodded. But doubt flickered in her eyes. Hartley was out there. Hunting. And Elias knew, this wasn't over. Not by a long shot. That night. Elias's penthouse. 42nd floor. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Security had been doubled. Cameras. Guards. Panic buttons. Sky was asleep in her room. Elias sat in his study. Staring at his laptop. News articles. Updates. Alerts. Victor Hartley escapes custody. Manhunt underway for former Crane Industries board member. Authorities warn, Hartley considered armed and dangerous. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. He hesitated. Then answered. Hello. Breathing. Then that voice. Distorted. Mechanical. The same voice from before. Did you really think it was over? Elias's hands clenched. Hartley. You took everything from me, Crane. My company. My freedom. My life. You did that to yourself. No. You did it. You and that little girl. Elias stood. If you come near her. I'm not coming near her. Not yet. First, I want you to suffer. I want you to lose everything. Just like I did. You're insane. Maybe. But I'm also free. And I'm coming for you. The line went dead. Elias stared at his phone. His heart pounded. Hartley was out there. Planning. Waiting. And Elias knew, the nightmare wasn't over. It was just beginning again. 1 week later. Opening day. The building was ready. Staff in position. 15 kids arrived throughout the morning. Each one scared. Guarded. Unsure. Elias watched from the lobby as they came in. A girl, maybe 12, clutching a garbage bag filled with her belongings. A boy, 14, with a black eye and bruised ribs. Twin sisters, 9 years old, holding hands so tight their knuckles were white. Each one carrying stories Elias would never fully know. But they were here. Safe. For the first time in who knew how long. Patricia stood at the entrance. Greeting each one. Soft voice. Kind smile. Welcome home. Those 2 words made some of them cry. Sky was there too. Helping. Showing the younger kids to their rooms. This is yours, she told a small boy, maybe 8. Your bed. Your desk. Your space. Nobody can take it from you. The boy stared at the bed. Really? Really? He sat on it. Bounced once. Then burst into tears. Sky sat beside him. Put an arm around his shoulders. It's okay. I cried too. When I got my room. You did? Yeah. Because I never thought I'd have one again. The boy wiped his eyes. What happened to you? I got lucky. Someone helped me. And now I'm going to help you. Elias watched from the doorway. His chest tight. This was why he built it. For moments like this. Grant appeared beside him. Media's outside. They want a statement. Let them wait. Sir, this is good press. The company needs. I don't care about press. I care about those kids feeling safe. Grant nodded. Understood. They stood in silence. Watching the kids explore their new home. Then Patricia walked over. We have a problem. What kind of problem? The funding. We budgeted for 20 million. We've already spent 22. And we haven't even been open a full day. Elias frowned. How? The security upgrades. After Hartley's escape. The extra guards. The surveillance system. It's expensive. How expensive? 500,000. Per month. Just for security. Elias did the math. 6 million a year. Just for protection. That's not sustainable, Grant said. I don't care. Find the money. Sir. I said find it. These kids need to be safe. If that means spending more, we spend more. Patricia nodded. I'll adjust the budget. She walked away. Grant looked at him. You can't save everyone. Maybe not. But I can save these 15. And then 15 more. And then 15 more after that. At what cost? Whatever it takes. Grant didn't respond. That afternoon. The grand opening ceremony. Reporters lined the street. Cameras rolling. Elias stood at a podium outside the building. Sky beside him. Patricia and Grant flanking them. Behind them, the 15 kids. Watching nervously. "Thank you all for coming," Elias began. "6 months ago, a young girl saved my life. Twice. She didn't know me. Didn't owe me anything. But she saw something wrong and refused to stay silent." He looked at Sky. She smiled shyly. "That girl showed me something I'd forgotten. That courage doesn't come from money or power. It comes from doing what's right. Even when you're scared. Even when you have everything to lose." He paused. "That's why we built this place. The Sky Project. For kids who've been forgotten. Ignored. Left behind. Kids who deserve a chance. A home. A future." Applause rippled through the crowd. "This isn't charity. This is justice. These kids didn't choose to be homeless. They didn't choose to suffer. But they can choose to survive. To grow. To become something more." He gestured to the building. "This place will give them that choice. Education. Counseling. Job training. And most importantly, safety. A place where they can just be kids again." More applause. "I'm not doing this for recognition. Or press. I'm doing it because it's right. And because a 10-year-old girl reminded me what really matters." He stepped back from the podium. Sky stepped forward. Someone handed her a microphone. She looked terrified. Hi." Her voice was small. Shaky. The crowd went silent. "I don't really know what to say. I'm not good at speeches." She looked at Elias. He nodded. "You got this." She took a breath. "A year ago, I had nothing. No home. No family. No hope. I slept in cold places and went hungry most days. And I thought that's just how my life was going to be." Her voice grew stronger. "But then I saw something wrong. And I couldn't stay quiet. Even though I was scared. Even though I thought nobody would listen." She looked at the kids behind her. "And someone did listen. And he didn't just help me. He built this. For all of us. For kids who need someone to listen." Tears filled her eyes. "So if you're out there. If you're scared. If you think nobody cares. Just know, someone does. And places like this exist because people like Mr. Crane believe you deserve better." She handed the microphone back. The crowd erupted in applause. Reporters shouted questions. Cameras flashed. But Elias wasn't looking at them. He was looking at the kids. At their faces. Some were smiling. Some were crying. Some just looked stunned. But all of them, for the first time in a long time, looked hopeful. Patricia cut the ribbon. The doors officially opened. The kids filed inside. Staff guiding them. And as the crowd dispersed, Elias stood alone on the steps. Grant walked over. "You did good. We did good. Yeah. We did." They stood in silence. Then Grant's phone buzzed. He checked it. His face darkened. "What?" Elias asked. "Security just flagged something. A man was spotted outside the perimeter. Watching. Took photos. Description: tall. Dark coat. Left before security could approach." Elias's jaw clenched. Hartley. Maybe. Or someone working for him. Double the guards. Nobody gets in without clearance. Already done. Elias looked at the building. At the windows where kids were settling in. Hartley was out there. Watching. Planning. But Elias wasn't running anymore. This was his line in the sand. These kids. This place. Sky. He'd protect them. No matter what it cost. 3 a.m. Elias woke to the sound of his phone buzzing. He grabbed it. Groggy. Disoriented. Grant's voice. Urgent. Sir, we have a situation. Elias sat up. What kind of situation? Fire. At the Sky Project. It's bad. His blood turned to ice. The kids. Everyone's out. Safe. Staff evacuated them immediately. But the building. I'm on my way. He hung up. Threw on clothes. Sky appeared in his doorway. Eyes wide. What's happening? There's a fire. At the project. Is anyone hurt? No. Everyone's safe. I'm coming with you. Sky. I'm coming. No time to argue. They rushed out. 20 minutes later. The building was engulfed in flames. Fire trucks surrounded it. Hoses blasting water. But it was too late. The second and third floors were gone. The first floor collapsing. Elias stood behind the police tape. Watching his dream burn. The kids were huddled together across the street. Wrapped in blankets. Social workers surrounding them. Patricia was there. Face streaked with ash and tears. What happened? Elias demanded. I don't know. The alarm went off at 2:30. By the time staff got everyone out, the whole building was on fire. Where did it start? Third floor. Director's office. Elias's stomach dropped. His office. Where they kept the records. The files. This wasn't an accident. Grant appeared. Soot on his face. Fire marshal says it's arson. They found accelerant. Multiple ignition points. Hartley. Has to be. Elias turned. Looked at the kids. At Sky standing beside them. Small. Scared. Everything he'd built. Gone. Sir. A firefighter approached. Handed him something. A piece of paper. Partially burned. On it, 2 words scrawled in black marker. You're next. Elias stared at it. Hartley's message was clear. This was just the beginning. Dawn. The fire was out. The building was destroyed. Nothing left but charred walls and ash. The kids had been relocated to a hotel. Temporary. Until they figured something out. Elias stood in front of the ruins. Alone. Grant had taken Sky back to the penthouse. Safe. Protected. But Elias couldn't leave. He stared at what remained. 6 months of work. $22 million. All the hope he'd built. Gone in 3 hours. You should go home. Patricia's voice behind him. He didn't turn. I can't. There's nothing left here. There has to be. She walked beside him. Stared at the rubble. We'll rebuild, she said quietly. With what money? We're already over budget. We'll find it. How? The investors are going to pull out. The board's going to question every decision. And Hartley's still out there. Patricia was quiet. I failed them, Elias whispered. Those kids. I promised them a home. And I couldn't even keep it standing for a week. This wasn't your fault. Wasn't it? Hartley's after me. He's always been after me. And now those kids are paying the price. So what do you want to do? Give up? He didn't answer. Elias. Look at me. He turned. Patricia's eyes were fierce. You didn't fail them. Hartley did this. Not you. And if you walk away now, then he wins. Is that what you want? Of course not. Then stop feeling sorry for yourself and fight. Her words hit him like a slap. He stared at her. Then back at the ruins. She was right. This wasn't over. Not until he made it over. What do we need? He asked. Money. A new location. Time. How much time? To rebuild? 6 months. Maybe more. We don't have 6 months. Those kids need a home now. Then we find them one. Elias pulled out his phone. Started scrolling. Looking for properties. Empty buildings. Warehouses. Anything that could be converted fast. Then he saw it. His father's estate. Outside the city. 20 acres. A main house and 3 guest cottages. Empty since his father died. I have a place, he said. Patricia looked at him. Where? My father's estate. It's big enough. Secure. We can move them there temporarily. Are you sure? He thought about it. About his father. About legacy. His father had built that house for family. For people he loved. These kids were family now. I'm sure. That evening. The kids arrived at the estate. Buses pulled up. Doors opened. They stepped out. Looking around. Confused. Tired. Where are we? One of them asked. Elias stood at the entrance. Somewhere safe. They filed inside. Into the main house. Warm. Clean. Furniture already set up. Beds in the guest cottages. Not perfect. Not permanent. But safe. Sky was there. Helping again. Showing them around. It's only temporary, she told them. But it's home for now. One of the younger kids, the boy who'd cried on his first day, looked up at Elias. Are they going to burn this place too? Elias knelt down. No. I promise. This place is protected. Nobody's getting in. You promised before. The words cut deep. I know. And I'm sorry. But this time, I'm not taking any chances. He stood. Looked at Grant. Armed guards patrolled the perimeter. Cameras on every entrance. Panic buttons in every room. This place was a fortress. Hartley would have to go through an army to get to these kids. And even then, Elias would be waiting. Midnight. Elias sat in his father's study. Alone. The room was exactly as his father had left it. Books. Photos. An old desk. He stared at a picture on the wall. His father. Smiling. Arm around a younger Elias. I don't know if I'm doing this right, Elias whispered. But I'm trying. I'm trying to make you proud. Silence. Then, footsteps. Sky appeared in the doorway. Can't sleep, he asked. She shook her head. Walked in. Sat on the couch. I keep thinking about the fire. About how fast it happened. Me too. What if he comes here? What if? He won't get to you. I won't let him. She looked at him. You can't promise that. Yes, I can. Dad. Her voice cracked. I'm scared. He moved to the couch. Sat beside her. Pulled her close. I know. I'm scared too. You are. Every day. Since the helicopter. Since the shooting. Since the fire. I'm terrified something's going to happen to you. She looked up at him. Then why do you keep fighting? Because that's what you do when you love someone. You fight. Even when you're scared. She buried her face in his shoulder. I don't want to lose you, she whispered. You won't. How do you know? Because I've already lost too much. I'm not losing you too. They sat in silence. Outside, the sound of guards patrolling. Dogs barking. Surveillance systems humming. The estate was locked down. But Elias knew, Hartley was still out there. Watching. Planning. And this wasn't over. Not by a long shot. 2 months later. The estate had transformed. What started as temporary became something more. Something permanent. The kids weren't just surviving anymore. They were living. Classes in the morning. In the main house library. Therapy sessions in the afternoons. In the sunroom overlooking the gardens. Recreation in the evenings. Sports. Art. Music. And Sky, she was at the center of it all. Not as a resident anymore. As a leader. Every afternoon after her own school, she came to the estate. Helped the younger kids with homework. Played games with them. Listened when they needed to talk. She understood them in ways the staff never could. Because she'd been them. Tuesday afternoon. Elias arrived at the estate. Briefcase in hand. Board meeting had run late. New investors. New deals. The company was recovering, but slowly. He walked into the main house. Laughter echoed from the library. He followed the sound. Inside, Sky sat cross-legged on the floor. 5 kids around her. Books scattered everywhere. Okay, so the answer is, she looked at a girl, maybe 9. What do you think, Maya? Maya bit her lip. 42? Close. It's 43. But you almost had it. Try the next one. Maya smiled. Picked up her pencil. Elias watched from the doorway. Sky glanced up. Saw him. Her face lit up. Dad. You're here. The kids turned. Stared. That's your dad, one of them asked. Yeah. The billionaire? Sky laughed. Yeah. But don't worry. He's cool. Elias smiled. Walked in. How's homework going? Good. Maya's getting better at math. And Jason just finished his reading assignment. A boy, maybe 12, held up a book. Pride on his face. That's great, Jason. Jason beamed. Can we take a break? Another kid asked. I'm tired. Sky looked at the clock. Yeah. We've been at it for an hour. Go play. We'll finish later. The kids scattered. Heading outside to the yard. Sky stayed. Started organizing the books. Elias sat beside her. You're good with them. They remind me of me. How so? They're scared. Angry. They don't trust anyone. But they want to. They want to believe things can get better. And you help them believe that. She shrugged. I try. I tell them my story. About the helicopter. About you. About how one moment can change everything. What do they say? Some believe it. Some don't. But at least they're listening. She stacked the last book. Looked at him. I've been thinking about something. What? When I was on the streets, nobody helped me. For 3 years. I was invisible. Sky. No, let me finish. She took a breath. I was invisible until I did something. Until I spoke up. And that's when everything changed. Where are you going with this? I want to teach them that. To speak up. To not stay silent when they see something wrong. Elias smiled. That's a good lesson. It's the most important lesson. She stood. Walked to the window. Watched the kids playing outside. These kids have been hurt. Abandoned. Ignored. And they think that's all they deserve. But it's not. What do they deserve? She turned. They deserve to be heard. To be seen. To matter. Her words hung in the air. Elias stood. Walked over to her. You know what you are, Sky. What? You're exactly what they need. Someone who understands. Someone who survived. I'm just a kid. No. You're a fighter. And you're teaching them to fight too. She looked down. I'm scared I'm not good enough. Why? Because what if I say the wrong thing? What if they don't listen? What if? Sky. He knelt down. Looked her in the eye. You stopped a billionaire from getting in a helicopter. You exposed corruption. You survived 3 assassination attempts. And you're worried you're not good enough? She laughed softly. When you put it that way. You're more than good enough. You're extraordinary. She hugged him. Tight. Thanks, Dad. That evening. Dinner at the estate. Long table. 15 kids. Staff. Elias. Sky. Grant. Everyone eating together. Talking. Laughing. Normal. For the first time in months, things felt normal. After dinner, Sky stood. Tapped her glass. Everyone went quiet. I want to say something. All eyes on her. When I first got here, to the original building, I was scared. I didn't think I belonged. I didn't think I deserved to be here. She looked around the table. But then I realized something. We all deserve to be here. Every single one of us. Not because someone's doing us a favor. But because we're worth it. Some of the kids nodded. I know things have been hard. The fire. Moving here. All the changes. But we're still here. We're still together. And that mattered. For this. For kids learning they mattered. For Sky teaching them the same lesson she taught him. That one voice, no matter how small, can change everything. Later that night. Elias sat on the porch. Stars overhead. Sky came out. Sat beside him. That was something tonight, he said. Yeah. I didn't plan it. It just happened. The best moments usually do. They sat in comfortable silence. Then Sky spoke. Do you think we'll ever be safe? Like, really safe? I don't know. Hartley's still out there. Does that scare you? Every day. But you're not running. No. Why? He looked at her. Because some things are worth fighting for. And you're one of them. She leaned against him. I love you, Dad. The words hit him like a wave. She'd never said it before. He wrapped his arm around her. I love you too, Sky. They sat there. Under the stars. Father and daughter. Not by blood. But by choice. And that was stronger than anything. 5 years later. The estate was unrecognizable. What started as 15 kids in temporary housing had grown into something bigger. 3 new buildings. Capacity for 50 residents. A full school. Counseling center. Job training program. The Sky Project wasn't just surviving. It was thriving. And Sky, now 16, was at the heart of it all. Saturday morning. Elias pulled up to the estate. Windows down. Sun shining. He'd been coming here every weekend for 5 years. Rarely missed one. The company was stable now. Stock higher than ever. New leadership. Clean slate. Victor Hartley had been recaptured 3 years ago. Tried. Convicted. Life sentence without parole. The threat was over. But Elias still came. Not out of fear. Out of love. He walked through the main entrance. Kids everywhere. Playing. Studying. Living. He found Sky in the library. Surrounded by a group of younger kids. She was taller now. Confident. Her voice strong and clear. So when you're filling out college applications, remember. She looked at a girl, maybe 14. What matters most? Being honest, the girl answered. Exactly. Don't try to be someone you're not. Tell your story. Your real story. The kids nodded. Taking notes. Elias watched from the doorway. Pride swelling in his chest. Sky glanced up. Smiled when she saw him. Hey. Give me 5 minutes. Take your time. She turned back to the kids. Alright, that's it for today. Work on your essays. We'll review them next week. The kids scattered. Sky walked over. Hugged him. You're early. Finished the board meeting ahead of schedule. How'd it go? Good. Approved funding for another expansion. Her eyes lit up. Another building. 2 buildings. And a vocational center. Construction starts next month. She threw her arms around him. That's amazing. We'll be able to house 80 kids total. 80. She shook her head in disbelief. Remember when it was just 15? I remember when it was just you. She smiled. Feels like a lifetime ago. It was. They walked outside. Into the garden. It had grown too. Flowers. Vegetables. A small pond. They sat on a bench. How's school? He asked. Good. Finished my college applications last week. Where'd you apply? Harvard. Yale. Stanford. A few others. Impressive. She shrugged. I had a good tutor. He laughed. You did that yourself. Not all of it. You helped. Grant helped. Patricia helped. Everyone helped. You put in the work. They sat in silence. Watching kids play in the distance. Then Sky spoke quietly. Can I ask you something? Anything. Do you ever think about that day? The helicopter? He looked at her. Every single day. Really? Really? It changed everything. Do you wish it never happened? He thought about it. About the fear. The danger. The pain. But also, about her. About this place. About the lives they'd saved. No, he said. I don't wish that. Even with everything that happened. The bomb. The fire. Hartley. Grant getting shot. Even with all of that. Why? Because it brought me you. Her eyes filled with tears. And you brought me them. He gestured to the kids. You taught me what really matters. Not money. Not power. People. Connection. Fighting for something bigger than yourself. She wiped her eyes. I was just a scared kid shouting at a stranger. You were brave. You saw something wrong and refused to stay silent. That's not just bravery. That's heroism. I don't feel like a hero. Heroes never do. They sat quietly. Then a small voice behind them. Sky. They turned. A little girl, maybe 7. New arrival. She'd come to the estate just 2 weeks ago. Hey, Emma. What's up? Emma walked over slowly. Nervous. I wanted to ask you something. Sure. What is it? How did you stop being scared? Sky looked at Elias. Then back at Emma. Come here. She patted the bench. Emma climbed up. Sat between them. The truth? I didn't stop being scared. Emma's eyes went wide. You didn't? Nope. I'm still scared sometimes. Of new things. Of messing up. Of losing people I love. But you seem so brave. That's the secret. Being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you do things even when you are. Emma thought about that. Like when I told the social worker about my dad. Even though I was scared. Exactly like that. That was so brave, Emma. But now I don't have a family. Sky put her arm around her. Yes, you do. You have us. All of us. Emma looked up. Really? Really? You're not alone anymore. None of us are. Emma smiled. Then hugged Sky. Elias watched. His throat tight. This was it. This was everything. Emma ran off to play. Sky turned to him. Do you think she'll be okay? If she has you looking out for her? Absolutely. I'm going to college next year. I won't be here as much. You'll still be here. And she'll know you care. That's what matters. Sky nodded. I want to study social work. Maybe child psychology. So I can help more kids like her. Like me. You'll be amazing at it. You think so? I know so. They stood. Started walking back toward the main house. Dad? Yeah. Do you ever think about what would have happened if I hadn't shouted that day? He stopped walking. Looked at her. All the time. What do you think would have happened? I'd be dead. The company would have fallen apart. Hartley would have won. And 50 kids wouldn't have a home right now. That's a lot of pressure to put on one shout. It wasn't just a shout. It was a choice. You chose to care. To act. To risk everything for a stranger. I didn't think about it that much. I couldn't stay quiet. That's what makes it extraordinary. They reached the house. Patricia was there. Clipboard in hand. 5 years and she was still running things. There you are. We need to talk about the spring fundraiser. Sky groaned. Do we have to? Yes. We need $200,000 for the new vocational center. I'll make some calls, Elias said. We'll get it. Patricia smiled. You always do. She walked off. Grant appeared. Slower now. Hair graying. But still sharp. Boss. Sky. Grant. How are you? Good. Just did a security walk. Everything's locked down tight. Any concerns? None. It's been 3 years since Hartley was caught. We're clear. Good. Grant looked at Sky. Heard you got into Harvard. She blushed. Early acceptance. I don't know if I'll go. Why not? It's far. And expensive. And nothing, Elias interrupted. You're going. We'll figure out the rest. But. No buts. This is your dream. You're going. She smiled. Okay. I'm going. Grant nodded approvingly. Good. Make us proud. I will. He walked off. Sky turned to Elias. Do you really think I can do it? College. Career. All of it. Sky. You survived homelessness. Saved a billionaire. Exposed corruption. Stopped assassins. Built a home for 50 kids. College is going to be easy. She laughed. When you put it that way. I'm serious. You can do anything. She hugged him. Thank you. For everything. For believing in me. For loving me. For giving me a family. He held her tight. Thank you for saving my life. Which time? He pulled back. Looked at her. All of them. They stood there. Father and daughter. Two people who found each other in the chaos. Who saved each other. Who built something beautiful from the ashes. Come on, she said. Let's go check on the kids. They walked inside together. Into the home they'd built. Into the life they'd chosen. And for the first time in years, Elias Crane felt complete. Not because of his company. Not because of his wealth. But because of her. Because one shout, from one little girl, changed everything. And he would never forget it. Not for a single day. And that's how one shout changed 2 lives forever. If this story moved you, if it made you think about courage, family, or what really matters, do me a favor, subscribe so you never miss stories like this. And leave a comment telling me, what was your favorite moment? Was it the helicopter? The fire? Sky going live? I want to hear from you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.